Call the meeting to order at 9:00 a.m. All right, roll call. I am here. Gary is here walking in. Joe, Barb, Ellie, Susan will be absent. Jeff, Brenda. All right. That's a solid representation. Okay. Any oral communications for items not on the Gary, would you mind taking a peek at the Zoom, seeing if there's anybody on there? Okay. Oh, the video's off. Turn ours on. Yeah, okay. There we go. All right. It's recorded. Okay. So won't have a visual for the roll call. Okay. And if there are no oral communications, let's move minutes in the packets. Any feedback? Is there a C? All right, we'll fix that. Any other feedback to fix them? Can I get a motion to approve? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Joe abstains. That was unanimous. Okay, great. All right. Trail maintenance review, pretty straightforward. One of the things that I didn't notice as being, oh, I guess this is actually what that. On Alpine Trail, the trail rut repair, actually pretty extensive. I was on it two or 3 days ago. There's gravel that's been put down. I think it's just gravel. I don't know if you want to weigh in. But from where Saddleback and the trail intersect all the way up, still like rock laid down there and compacted quite a bit. And then from the portion from Indian Crossing would be west on or south, I guess, on Alpine, all the way up there. There's been a bunch of there, so that looks really good. Hopefully, it will last. So, yeah, if you want to just will you put the?
There we go.
Right.
Especially because budget's going to be tighter this coming. Do some extra repairs this prior year. We were able to get some drainage done, repair some of the existing rutting out there, out of Corte Madera Alpine Trail. So drainage was installed too to hopefully preventative.
Will you put the mic went off?
Fingers crossed.
Okay.
If there's any feedback that the community has on that, if there's.
Yeah. I don't expect we'll get any before the rain comes during this, but looks great to me. Significant improvement. Any other comments, questions about trail maintenance committee? Yes. Palmer? Oh, Palmer at the top. On part that's on Palmer, not on the trail that connect. Yeah, okay. That's it. It's uphill both. It's uphill both ways. Yeah. Oh yeah.
We need to cut the trail in.
Yeah.
Palmer.
So Palmer on the Palmer Lane portion, Yeah, I did see that recently. And then, yes, Meadowwood is basically, there are two sections that are bad.
Yes.
I think the trail just needs filling with something.
Yeah,
I think it needs scrape, maybe, because there was so much water damage there on the bottom, on kind of the middle bot to the bottom. And cars were parking there and there's really,
it's the portion that's closest, it's the downhill slope towards school.
yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, there's some history there because there's pipes, I believe, that pump water right out into the street off those lots that are kind of the flood area there. I don't know if it's officially a flood area, but it used to be a swamp before they built that house there, the Bochnowskis. So what happens is the water is supposed to stay, goes downhill. The curb is really messed up there, and then back it up so it's into the trail, makes a rut, and then in the springtime it's so moist, everything just like and no one can get in there for a little. So it's a tough issue.
Okay.
You got to keep the curb clean, maybe rebuild the curb.
Okay. Yeah, there's also, I would say, in addition to, I mean, for equestrians, it seems like at the top where it's connected to the trail, there's too much head growth. Yeah, so that also, I mean, we can follow up on that, the overhead growth there.
And I think we said it last time, but you have Meadowwood, Golden Hills,
Yeah. Yeah.
and Fawn.
Okay, so we can just put together a kind of a list and just page with Scott.
I brought this up before, a trail sign. I don't know, in the scheme of things, maybe there are a whole bunch of trail signs needing attention, so who to send them to? And maybe because the town's so short on money, it may not be important in this. Anyway, you know who we send them to? Just PB Forum. I mean, PB Trail, PB.
No, let's,
TikTok, who we can add.
no, we should, I think, put together a list because I have to get through it. They have to get repaired in batches is my understanding. And so we probably just need to get a batch in and see what there's budget for. Yeah, since it's, since it's technically a capital.
Yeah, it's sort of, yeah.
improvement.
So whoever on our committee has, or anybody else that knows of any trails that really do need some specific attention that may be overlooked, please get to me and I will coordinate and get Scott. Or should I go directly to Scott or should I go? Yeah, okay, yeah. Good, and I can do that on an ongoing basis.
Yeah, and let's come back to this on the new business.
Okay,
Alright.
good idea.
I think signage may be something that we want to talk about there. Okay, anything else on trail maintenance? Yeah. Or there, either way.
Just wanted to ask the question, since we're now, has all of the mowing been completed around the trails that is going to happen? Just want to be able to update my committee
Yeah.
as well. So we're all done with all the mowing, right? Thank you.
Mowing is done. Okay, great. All right, anything else on trail maintenance? Okay, we'll then do a quick check-in on priorities. If we don't have any check-in, I mean, we can just quickly move through. I just want to have these as standing items. Continue to make progress. So Joe, anything new on capital improvement?
No, the fact that I submitted the request or that our submission 2 months ago, I haven't heard anything back, and I'm not sure that there's anything that I need to do or we need to do.
And this is the,
Capital improvements.
yeah, the capital improvements.
Is it referring to that? Or are you talking?
I don't think there's anything more for us to do there.
Yeah,
You
once a
have-
year, that at the budget time, town knows what our position.
Maybe you guys can get together and check in to see if there's a plan, because we can give guidance, but to know whether that guidance is going to be acted on is
Mhm.
probably
Yeah,
useful
getting,
for us.
yeah, you're right. We never have worked that, get feedback to find out so that we all know what we're saying. So I guess Mary, would I be working with you? The capital improvement items that the Trail Committee believes should be considered by town council for improving things in the town, physical things. Well, yeah, so I emailed to Fred. Fred sends it to who? The capital improvement list?
I sent it to Robert. Did I send it to you? I think yeah. Yeah, so so let's just go back and make sure everyone has it who
Yeah.
needs it, and that we can get any feedback.
Okay. Yep. Mhm.
That's pvengineering@portolavalley.net.
Oh, okay, great. Okay. Mm-hmm. Good,
Perfect.
I'll do that.
And there's 2 T's in Bert.
Yes. Okay, I'll copy you, Mary, just because,
Okay.
in case Robert dies.
All right. And then is there any progress on removing the hedge?
Well, that's the yes and no. The topic for everyone is that there's a new 401c3, 501c3. I believe it's already been accepted.
Yeah, we covered it last.
Okay, so
last
that item,
time.
the only thing I got was an email from that says that he's been out of town and nothing's happened yet. And should I just move ahead by myself?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I said to him, should I move by myself? And he said he didn't know. But I think I should. I'm kind of looking forward for it. I know Mary gave me some really good direction on how to proceed. I'm ready to do so. And that's formulate what the plan is, this project on this hedge removal. And Jeff was willing to work with me to see wherever, to get the funding that people have said that they would be willing to commit to, and then submit it and see where it goes.
Okay. In terms of the mechanics of how this works, Shady, we had who from the town was on point to engage with that group?
The interim town engineer.
Okay, so
Our point of
Robert
contact.
probably needs to be plugged in to this. It seems like you can come up with the plan, but I think we need you to be aligned with the plan. So just to get everyone on the same page what we're talking about. There's a request to remove a hedge on Shawnee Pass at the intersection of Shawnee Pass and Cervantes. There is funding to do this from I'm forgetting the
Residents.
name of the
Oh.
501c3.
pvfunds.org.
pvfunds.org. So that's where the funding is going. Plan that is aligned with, I mean, removing a hedge is probably it's not like rebuilding a trail, but we should have something that the process.
Yeah,
So
who does what and
who does what?
who's,
yeah.
everybody's waiting for everybody else.
So you will put,
The way that worked on Shady Trail, I've been quick here. This was a project that was completed with donated funds. So what we did was we got the funds, they were marked for Shady Trail. The interim town engineer went out, got scope of work done, and then used that scope of work to get bids, complete the project. Then he ran that by us. We approved it, the neighbors approved it, and then he awarded the contract. And the contract was with Nelson and Sons, if I, and then I don't know if it was Scott, I think it was Scott who kind of oversaw the project from interim town engineer was not able to spend many hours on the project. And then once it was done, the neighbors, Brenda, gave a lot of feedback because it just, the job wasn't complete. Did get completed. So there was a lot of involvement between committee, the neighbors, and town staff.
And no, the PV funds .org wasn't a part of that, wasn't it?
It was before PV funds was created by, I think, the yeah,
Ah.
they were earmarked for that project specific, only that. I don't know if that's how PV funds works, but this
Think
case,
so.
it was, yeah.
So maybe as our, you work with PV funds to make sure that the funds are earmarked down, and then we can kick off like the mechanics of how to actually execute the project.
Mhm. Okay, and the funds aren't being, checks aren't being written yet, I think pending that it will really be accepted.
Okay.
Yeah, and I
That-
think,
I think
I
it-
think pvfunds.org has to set up, if they haven't already, because I'm not aware of the mechanism. If there's an approval process or, funds come in, because if somebody gives $35,000 to the fund, yeah, presumably you're going to need some oversight of it.
Yeah.
Whether it's approved by the town or various committees that it might be allotted to, but I don't know, that's a follow-up. Maybe Joe and I can
Yeah.
get Jonathan out somewhere to.
Excuse me, regarding this hedge, is it the homeowner who wants it removed?
Yes.
So why is the town involved? Oh,
Yeah.
just
Because
because there's lots of room to go,
it's yeah,
in the trail easement,
yes.
because it's quite a bit of room to get by.
So the town
This
would
to
have
do with
to,
restoring trail
Provide
easement.
knowledge on what I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I provide knowledge on what I think is the town is aware of at this point in time?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that okay? I apologize for kind of jumping in.
No.
So my awareness is that there has been some contention over a hedge in the past that the public right of way, it isn't a trail. It reduces the size of the trail. Overall, you're able to get by it, but it certainly is significant reduction in the size of the overall path at that location. We've got a couple requests by different people to look at bringing the trail back into standard condition. That would involve removing the hedge. My understanding is that at least in the general vicinity, the community generally supports that with the neighbors. I need neighbor polling and see to make sure that all neighbors are in agreement and acceptance. The town does not have funding necessarily to undergo full capital improvements and totally remove the hedge with its own budget, given budget reduction. There has been, my understanding is some form of money offered to take on the project to reduce it, tied specifically to this item. Does that help explain a little bit?
Thank you. Obviously, everybody is aware of that. Thank you for repeating it. I just had just an academic question there, but thank you.
Sorry, I wasn't sure if everyone was aware of the.
Which specific, where is this? Which specific intersection? I'm not aware of it.
It's just Cervantes and Shawnee Pass.
Which one? There's two.
Yeah, fair enough. The one that
western.
is closest to west.
Well, there's.
right
two
down at the
wa-
bottom of the hill where the stop sign is.
So
Stop
down
sign
on
at the
that.
bottom of the hill.
Closest to the closest western intersection.
Closest to the closest west. Yes.
Yes.
Technically, it's closest to
Okay,
west.
then it's on the corner? Right
on the corner.
of That,
Yeah,
hedge.
it's
So
on-
those folks did a lot of work. It's the house I'm thinking of. that
Yes, they're removing a lot of,
They
it
removed a whole lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yes.
So
was fire
it's that hedge
mitigation.
then that's on Shawnee Path.
Yep.
Ooh, they're gonna push back on that.
No, no, no.
No, they're requesting it.
Oh, the homeowners are?
Yes.
Because they trim it real nice, they hang
Yes.
signs on it.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So
No, all right.
let's be clear. This is,
I'll be
this is,
quiet.
this is driven by the homeowners. There's funding to do
Didn't know
it.
that.
I don't think there's any opposition to removing it.
The homeowners are
Um,
cool, I think it's fine.
So that's where there's no one who's pushing back on removing external funding to do
No,
it.
fine.
We just gotta, I think, kind of help make it happen.
Yeah.
So
Did we rule out volunteers able to pull that out of there?
I don't know, you can follow up with Joe in terms,
I don't see your
Right.
hand going up.
Well, I mean, if we had three of us with chainsaw, pretty, but we could cut them.
We have we have
All
a
right,
s- a skid
I'm
steer
gonna,
home.
I'm gonna keep us moving forward. So Joe, you and Jeff on the follow. For us, is that we need to make sure that the mechanism funding from tvfunds.org
Right?
to the town that we start to get that, we build that.
Yeah.
And we know what that process is. Regardless of what the solution actually do.
Right, right.
Okay, cool. Moving on to C2, trail easements. Gary, anything note here?
Yeah, so first of all, it's Robert. We haven't met. I'm Gary Hanning. Very nice to meet you. Thanks for coming, because I get to talk a little bit about you, right? I spoke with Patty White, and I'll give a little background here for Robert. So on Salsel Trail, the original easement for Salsel Trail is from 1905. It's for a private road. At some point in time, the recorded easements against the lots that are that the trail crosses, and this is between Salsel Drive and Georgia Lane, that section of the trail. Were converted over to actual public trail easement and were recorded. However, we found there's two remaining houses close to, it's on the uphill portion on the right-hand side, close to the first intersection with the Cherokee Court cutoff. And the Whites, Patty White, one of the homeowners there, he's and her family built the Willow Commons. So they're very familiar with construction and easements. So I've been speaking with Patty. She had a copy of a readable copy of the. We had started to look into this with prior to when, but we never really made a formal determination of that easement, the 1905 easement was still valid, or if those two lots needed to record new easements, it to be a, proper public trail. And I think one of the issues is liability, because I think the way the law that you have to, if you're a public homeowner, have a public trail on your property where there's an easement that was given to a public entity, then you are held non-liable for any injured trail. If there's not an easement in place, we don't know what happens. So we need to probably sit down and have a conversation to figure really the situation. We can't interpret an easement and tell you if it's really still valid or not. And I don't think the last public recorded easements in town were Blue Oaks, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe Ellie and Mary would probably be the only ones who've ever been through that process of recording a new public trail easement. So we can't really advise the Whites on what to do. It has to probably come from the town and from somebody who, knows how to do this kind of thing. So they are willing to meet, are very open to recording a trail easement. They don't know how to do it. They don't know who should pay for it. Whether a survey has to be done, title companies have to get involved. So maybe we can have a conversation. Fred, you want to be involved? And then when we figure out what needs to, if that works. And then there's another neighbor next.
Okay.
They're relatively new in town.
That sounds good. So our next step is, Gary, you'll lead a meeting. I'm happy to join.
Yeah, I'll set up a
Robert.
meeting.
Okay.
Good to meet.
Great. Anything else on trail easements?
Can I just ask, are we talking road, that area,
Yes.
then the house to the right?
Yeah, there's two of them. And if you look at the houses just south of that, down the hill, just before Ben, was, I think in the 1980s where they had new easement property and they're actual true public trail easement.
Okay.
This is just at the end of Cherokee.
Yeah, kind of. It's
It
also
connects
trail,
over to
but near
Stossel,
that
right?
intersection, south
Yeah.
of that intersection.
And it's the part that we created the pedestrian easeway, right? Because there was only a,
No, this is horses. This is where, near where the low branch used to be.
No, it's not.
Way
the
down
one-
there.
The one,
Well, just up from that.
the one you're thinking of is where we rerouted.
Oh, no, this is not.
There
that.
was a split. One goes off the road with equestrian, and then the other, we're not talking about
That's the
that.
Nichols property. That's
Yeah.
a different thing. That's all done and
Yeah, this is a primary for kids to get down. Yeah, yes, Saucel the road dead ends. And if you're at the dead end, you go off to the left. That is the
Oh.
trail. And there's it is mostly paved. There is an unpaved
yeah,
sorry,
and
alternative on
there's
the
some half
side.
and half on certain.
Yeah. Okay. Any other easement?
So there's some stuff to talk about for the Stanford Trail easements, but I think we could add under.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It matters.
Okay, we'll close that one and then go to site developments of trails. So we can start with the portfolio.
Great. So this is another thing we'll need to. Real briefly, when the project was approved, there were contingencies that Stanford and that the trail easements for those trails would be recorded prior to. And I'm probably simplifying that, but that was the basic idea. Again, I've never done that. Howard knew how to do it, but this will probably fall in your lap, Robert, I would imagine. But we're happy to bring you up to speed on that. I talked with Craig Taylor. There's also I guess it was an agreement more than a contingency that Stanford meet with us to have a discussion about the Fire Road trail off the Alpine Canyon Trail. We had it on our map, if you remember that. Craig doesn't believe they're ready for that. He is Stanford, right? Because I don't know exactly when this conversation would happen, if it's production starts. You know, I don't think Stanford has any obligation to grant such trail easements, but they have, if I remember right, the contingency was they have to engage with us.
Well, and where does this that they earmarked funds for come into play here?
Good question. I don't know.
Because I think the study is part of this conversation. Study would, my
All, but that may be right. And
my recollection is that they would want to have the study happens.
okay.
Because I think the study would inform what trails could be in there.
Yeah,
the-
Craig and
the
I
issue.
didn't talk about that, so thank you for bringing that up. I will circle back with him on that.
Okay.
Because I don't think he was thinking in those terms either.
Okay.
This has already been a while since it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's something we just have to keep in our cap because we don't want to miss. Those would be really cool trails if they got done.
Yeah, I think we should certainly have the conversation with Stanford getting that. I think they earmarked something like 100,000
Okay.
for it. We may need more to actually execute it, but that I think is probably the thing that we want to be happen.
So I remember you,
Yes, it went very.
were there
late.
actual like contracts drawn up or minutes, or is it you have to go off the video? With the, anybody know?
This is the one where Portola Terrace was approved. I think our meeting, the one that went till 11 PM that we were all here. I think it came at the very, so I don't think it'd be hard to find it.
Okay.
Um,
All right, good. Then I'll take a look at the video,
okay.
talk anymore about this because I want to make sure we're doing.
Okay. So that's Portola.
That's
Yeah.
quick thing about that, and I'm glad Mary's here. So like 25 years ago, I know you were the champion to keep that trail open. Remember, we've ridden it, from Cervantes down to the terrace, but now I think that's not possible because of the house
Yeah,
built over
I think we
the,
should probably have a follow-up conversation.
okay,
That,
Just
I've
on
had
that.
some communication on that and just so everyone's up to date.
that's dead, that tree.
It's,
There's room there.
I-
They could hand you a muffin as you walk past the house.
So- yeah, so
It's a Westridge Trail too.
How
so
wide is
we,
it?
we don't have jurisdiction.
it, yeah. So,
Yes.
it is currently on the trail. Had a request from homeowner, and we're gonna honor that request. Because there is not agreement with the homeowners in the area about that trail. It is not a town trail, so follow-ups need to happen within Westridge. But we, on our draft map, we included it. We've been asked to remove it, which we're gonna honor. We're in the process of doing that. But there's some work that needs to be done. There's a whole, I think, not actually relevant for us,
So are,
but I do think it's not in the purview of the town. It's relevant to Port
relevant
Terrace,
Portola Terrace.
so I think we should be engaged, but I think that the conversation needs to be driven by Westridge.
Have we been asked to remove the entire? Just the one?
We, presumably we remove it just with the one.
That would be good because, we are proposing with,
I think we should probably
to
do some,
connect to it down below.
yeah,
So-
I think we should do some outreach to other folks along there though, because I think that including it is potential harming the engagement
Fair enough.
on the trail.
The,
But let's,
I haven't heard of any have improved quite nice down there, so I don't foresee, not steep. In fact, some of it may actually wander on to Stanford Land, right? And we-
Yeah.
So, okay, fair enough. I just,
we should be engaged as part of the,
well, if we can help Mary, but you're, Westridge, but bake some cookies.
I went with somebody. Was.
yeah. I do think getting some positive engagement with folks in that area is,
I have met with several times if you were project was getting started because I wanted their input. In just a general sense that they were not ready to talk about the trail stuff because they weren't. Now that the project's been approved, maybe things have.
yeah, I think it would be, it's worth us reaching about it.
And to answer Brenda's question, even if that lot in conflict never became a trail again, it doesn't affect the Stanford stuff because it's a loop and
Yeah.
you'll be able to get out of there. So you wouldn't be able to get all the way up to Cervantes, but you'd be able to come up Stanford trails back.
And Stanford is knowing that people from Alpine Road are going to be going on, and they're okay with people.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
that's a
so it's
contingency.
not, they're not going to have a gate.
Nope, that's a done deal.
So those trails will be open to all Patrol
Yes,
Valley or,
that's a done deal.
okay.
Yep.
All right.
And that's, our goal is to get the best possible trail system
Mhm.
for the community
Mm.
in there and for the residents who are.
No-
Yeah,
no
I
resident
see.
don't think-
residency.
Win for
I
everyone.
don't think people quite appreciate coming into town, how valuable the trails are there.
yeah.
There's always this sort of view that's like,
Oh,
oh my
outside-
gosh, trails are property, that's a bad thing.
Outsiders
and
are
I
gonna come
don't-
and walk on our
Yeah,
trail.
and I don't think that that's actually the experience that most people.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on from Portola Terrace. I don't think there's been any developments on Hawthorne. Yeah. Will you, do the thing?
No, no one has reached out to me.
Okay.
Karen knows,
Karen Askey.
Karen Askey.
Yeah, I don't think there's been any move. I know we talked last time that MROSD board committee to connect with the town council, but it seems like that's just,
Do you want me to reach out to her to ask?
yeah, I think just
Okay, just to
reaching
ask
out
her.
to get an update would. I think that one of the things I think Hawthorne's is really important is actually on our new business item for part of the challenge that we have is that there aren't places to ride bikes who want to really ride bikes. I don't think we're talking about ATVs in there, but like, I think Hawthorne's will be an outlet for that, a release of that, if we can, make sure that some trails get in there that allow multi-use. I think that will reduce some of the pressure on our trail. So I think getting Mid-Penn to kind of move along
Yeah.
would be good.
Another.
Barry, do you want to come in and talk about that?
You get all the fun ones there.
Um, Yeah, yes. Not 100% sure how much, how this is going, but there has been a decision or a snafu with the ad hoc committee, the joint ad hoc committee, which is has to be a Brown Act committee. And that's been true for both setting something up with Woodside and with setting something on a council level. So I truly think that it's better the way you're doing it. You going to Karen Askey, me talking to Karen about what's going on. But in the one thing that I wanted to mention, so that's the status of that. I'd say it's sort of on a freeze, but we have greatly
At Mid-Penn.
Yeah.
That's great.
So that's very good. And among the things that's, in my opinion, that you all should know is the connectivity along Los Trancos
Yes.
is through the historic.
Yep.
And so that's sort of what I'm trying to talk to them.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think the merging of the two pieces
Yeah.
is I think pretty important. Yeah, that issue of getting connectivity, fixing the gap in Los Trank is
It
Um,
should be.
it's a great
we
opportunity.
Need to continue.
Yeah.
Their mission.
Yeah.
Is to increase connectivity of trail systems.
Yeah.
And they know it and they've heard it from dogs, but it needs reinforcement.
Yeah.
Particularly right now. I'd say.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll just reach out to Karen, get the on keep going. Okay, Susan's not here on community engagement.
One more note.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I noticed construction has begun at the Priory. When we made our comments, we asked that they put in screening along the portion of the trail that had a direct view to structures. I don't know if that was ever included. Has the CUP been approved?
Yeah, we gave that feedback and
Feedback, but did it get incorporated?
yeah, I'm not sure.
Because I was expecting the CUP to come by us before construction started.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm wrong. but-
so the screening would be along Portola Road, effectively between Gambetta and where the trees start again.
Where the property ends.
So there's a gap between Gambetta and
Nathorst? No. the other one.
It's
So
along the
it's between
field,
Gambetta, it's along
southern
the
end of
field.
the
It's just, it's exposed. Yeah, the playing field. It's effectively, it's like where the track is parallel to Portola. There's some screening there. There's trees that you get into the shade. And it's that gap where at least our view of the plans was it was going to look pretty different in having this very large building kind of protrude out there and sort of would conflict with the scenic corridor. And so we had talked to them about adding some, it'd also be nice on the trail. That's a pretty, that, yeah, it's basically either side. Yeah. And so we had talked about, we'd advised that we, or requested, I guess, there. I don't know if that has been incorporated into the plans or not. I think we can just, we should,
Last I heard is it was put into the discussion when they went for. But I had no idea they were already granted building permit. Because I know they have a conditional use permit, right? And when conditional use permits are redone, they come by this committee, we have a sign off.
yeah, I think we can, so we should just follow up on this, because I think that, I would guess they are not gonna do the work to improve the trail, because they're going to do also a bunch of grade of the trail
By the house.
by the house and as it crosses Gambetta.
Yeah, the two
As it crosses
crossings.
Gambetta today, there's like a steep up onto that out better. They probably are gonna, my assumption is they do that at the end because you're gonna have equipment probably going back and forth and they don't want to mess it up. And I would think that maybe is when they're the screening.
That's fine, it's just
but
if it's not.
we should
on-
check.
Yeah, if it's not on the condition. Requirement, then they,
Are they building a house next door to the little White House? Are they building something there? Or it's way in the back? It's the other
It's-
side of the,
behind the track.
It's behind the track.
right.
Saw
So
the story poles out there. for
yeah,
everybody?
but why does that affect us on the trail?
The big building. So where the trail comes out from the trees that Fred mentioned, you literally have a straight on view across the track. I mean, it's big and it'll be an
Okay.
issue for everybody, hikers, drivers, and
Okay.
I mean, it's a scenic corridor issue, not a
Safety
trail
issue.
use or safety or anything.
a lot of.
And
lot
it's
of
and it's actually really only if you're coming towards the town center on Portola. If you're going towards Alpine, I don't think it's going to be an issue. So we should reach out to them. They were very
It should be easy to
pragmatic,
do.
cooperative.
Could help.
So we should just make sure that things get done right. I think we should also probably set a schedule for consulting on the improvement.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
That's probably
important is when they do intersection. Road is line of sight improvements there.
yeah.
It has to be done right.
So you have plenty of action items on site development. Do you want to take this one?
Yeah, I mean, we've done this before, so it's easy. And we can talk about it, Robert, when we have trail standards. I don't know. Approach a road and what the angles, for the trail that can be and stuff like that.
And also the surface across,
Yeah, the scoring of the trail across the drive.
that's super important.
Non-slip.
Yes.
There's a machine somewhere in this vicinity you can get you that business card. Cause then cause nobody knows how to build and say, go do this and that.
I don't know. I like the decorative one. Use on it.
Yeah, those are cost a little more.
Okay, anything else on site developments with trails? Okay, let's go to not here, so I know that we have any other updates. The only thing that is that the town picnic will be happening on September 20th this year. Susan and I are asked to have a booth or table at the picnic. So anybody who can come staff, it's from 11 to 2. It's after Zots to Tots. So Zots to Tots typically starts at, I think, and then everyone basically just stays there until after Zots to Tots. But having a booth there has been great in terms of people. So if you would like to come and staff it, it's a good way to engage. I will be there for some portion of it. Susan will be there, but anybody else who, let me know. That's what it says on my email. That was surprising to me.
What day is that? Saturday?
What day is that? Is it Saturday? Yeah, so it's the 20th. Well, regardless of the date, we'll get that nailed down, but I want to highlight it as good for the committee to be there, talk to folks about trails.
I've done that with students several years in a row now, and there are a lot of people who talk about it.
Yeah.
So definitely beneficial.
Yeah.
And we'll bring the banners from Horse Fair. That's what we have done in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Any other thoughts on community engagement? I mean, I think the engaging with pbfund.org is probably the other thing, but that's continuing on. Sure. I mean, as the liaison, you probably,
No, this is a public comment.
okay, this is a public,
The Zots to Tots every year
uh-huh.
with a crew of children usually. And I just think it should be clear right from the beginning that horses are in the Zots to Tots.
Oh, okay.
Because what happens there are no horses, and we say, yes, there are, and then we keep going. But it needs to be clear from the very beginning that horses can be included in Zots.
You're saying horses are
sheriff?
allowed to go with the
Yeah,
kids?
I always,
Yeah.
so I go a different way. I use the trails. Yeah, yeah.
So the sheriff pushes back?
They every year at the crossing at Port 12,
Oh, they try to stop you.
the people who are from police from out of town get confused, and no, we go at the same time, and we just only horses that are extremely behaved.
Yeah.
It's not for the rowdy.
Got it. All right. Well, we will,
I think there's
we'll,
Icelandic.
We're gonna take
a good one.
we'll connect with PBTNS on that.
It's worth knowing that it's open. and
Yeah.
we can tell police.
Well, they used to have them years ago, remember?
Yeah.
They used to come at the very end and then suddenly they weren't going to have them.
That has never been
That was
decided.
like 30 years ago.
Okay. Anything else on community engagement? All right, new business. So, the reason I put this on trail use violations is I have two, I think, kind of substantial, conflicts that are uses that are in substantial conflict with kind of the, approved usage for. The first one, the one that is it's more of a golf cart, not necessarily but it's an electric motorized vehicle, Katy Trail, and it has typically happened late at night in the dark. But there was we have a photo of it 6 p.m. on 2nd, and so I don't know whose golf cart it is. We could probably figure that out, but I think we probably need at least there's no blocking to the entrance, Katy, off of. I think there used to be either a rope or a chain. Yeah.
Yeah, what's right? Right.
Yeah, I mean you're not going to prevent everything, but like a golf cart zooming, highly problematic. And I think we've only ever observed it going up the trail. I don't know if we have evidence of it going down the trail. in terms of incline. So I think we need to take some action on that one specifically. But then there's also in the ranch, there's bike traffic on some of the trails and not on and on some of the single track trails, which is also, I mean, one, it is against easements that we have. It's in conflict with the, which I think is fundamentally like the most
Yeah.
challenging thing, because if we don't keep the easements sort of respected, then I think conflict with landowners, which I don't think we want. I don't think we want to put any sort of easements at risk.
Are these
Uh,
regular bikes or electric bikes?
So I think there's been a combination. It's been, I think, mostly regular bikes. I think the e-bikes are then a whole other aspect of this. And I think Woodside, you sent an article on how Woodside's handling
Yeah, so,
e-bikes.
so maybe we should break it into three chunks.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe the e-bike can go with the golf cart.
Well, I mean, I
Guys.
think so. I mean, there's two kinds of e-bike work. There's sort of pedal assist, which is
Mhm.
probably like less of a concern, and then there's it's effectively electric motorcycle.
So the problem there, and maybe this is, you know, kind of guides where we really need to go with this, is that the ordinance says that no motorized vehicle, period.
Yeah.
I think, so both of the e-bike classes would technically be in violation of. We want to allow the lower class on the trail, we may have to adjust the word. It may not hurt just to make the ordinance clearer, you know, it was written in the 64 or something like that, back when they were worried about trucks on the trail, or motorcycles. E-bikes are getting a lot of input. Can I talk about that now? Is it
Yeah. Will you also check on the,
one participant?
okay. Is that us?
Yes.
Okay. Because there were some folks who had raised this, might join as well, but.
Yes, I've spoken with a number of residents who have had the experience on the trails, for the most part on trails that allow bike. So it's oftentimes kids, but I don't know that that makes any difference. So we thought we would do two things: propose an engagement with the school district to have like some stop, which is what Woodside. There was an article. I'll send the article out the entire.
Yeah.
Later today, from the Almanac, or you can just look. Woodside got together with the San Mateo County workshop on e-bikes at the. They obviously have the same issue. Give their trail. Except maybe if they have safe routes to school. So I spoke with one board member at PVSD who is interested. So that's one thing we can do, and the other one is to work with the town to. And then if we need to change the ordinance, I don't know how we do that. Town council, take a look at that. You know, I don't know. Maybe you think about that, let us know. But, and this is specifically related to e-bikes. The problem being that they're way too fast.
Yeah.
You know, they're just not safe. I don't know. I think we'd have to have a discussion. Either of them are safe. I don't have that answer today. And then we should involve yes, because they should have which is other things. I've been meaning to talk to Ed. I just haven't had time. I'll talk to him see if he wants to get involved with that.
But is there any like notice that the town of Portola Valley, you know, they send out, you know, we get emails. I don't know if they have everyone's, you know, address, because maybe more than PV. You know, a lot of people don't read PV form.
Yeah.
Of just saying, just, you know, remember,
Well,
no motorized.
yeah. So this is, you're getting to the heart of what part of the issue
Yeah.
is that people don't know.
Yeah.
And I think you if you're trying to quote unquote enforce something or tell someone that haven't actually like
Mhm.
you're opening up to conflict. That's how you sort of create conflict. And so one of the things, so I do think we need education on again, what you can do on the trails, why we have these. I think a lot of people are like, this is a trail here. Why can't I go on this preferred method of locomotion? And because I think if you just tell people, no, you can't do it without giving them a reason, I think many people are going to be like, well, that's like your opinion, man. And so I think we need to explain that.
The
And
law.
so this is why I wanted to come back to the signage thing. Have been historically, I think, signs for good reason, because they kind of impact the rural character, scenicness of this. But I do think we have some place, Shady Trail, all of Coal Mine Ridge. I mean, there are real trailheads here, right? Like they're real actual trailheads. And I think we probably need to put up some signs that say, like, here's what you can do here. Here's why. Because, at least on the, within Coal Mine Ridge, I think a lot of the folk encountering people on bikes is those people on the bikes were not residents of town. And they were coming through because, like, it looks on a map, this is like, because you can come down dirt alpine and work your way through. And there's no way to know when you enter, I think, unless you enter maybe Lake Trail, one part of Lake Trail, but you'd have to really pay attention to our little tiny
Right, I know.
signs, like, the bike is one of 4 things on. Like, if you're riding a bike, you're not going to stop and be like, can I go? Can I go here? Right. So I think we should open up a conversation about having some signs that say, like, here's how to use our trails. I don't know. That's kind of the conversation I have. I think I don't know that going down the path of trying to find someone is going to be at all productive.
Doesn't this sound very familiar? It's been going on for years.
Yeah. So I think that the main thing, the tools that are effective are education, like a campaign, and also science.
Right, because Mid-Penn had Alpine and Willowbrook going in saying no electric bicycles, but I think education first and then the whole coterie of other things. But way back when, they used to have logs on Coal Mine Ridge, big old logs, telephone logs you stepped over. And then people on our committee said, oh, somebody might trip and fall. That's not. So basically they let them rot away. So I don't know, would that deter some of the bikers? Maybe it might deter the golf cart.
Well, it could at least be. So I think that's it's a good suggestion, because what it would do is it would disrupt them. And if we do have signs, then it sort of said you
Reinforces
bring
it.
those 2 things together. And so you're at least doing your best to communicate, which I think is the right way to go.
Yeah, so 2 things to think about. Way back when we were dealing with bikes in Coal Mine, we put in those as a trial, those funny gates that it's hard to get a bike through there. It's on Toyon.
Yeah,
There's one
Toyon,
on either end
yeah,
of Toyon.
yeah.
I don't know. We never followed up on that to see places that
I think
people weren't.
I think the challenge,
keen on them.
Toyon, I think, is the only pedestrian only. No horses are allowed there.
Right.
And so those gates are challenging if you're going to try to have horses.
Yeah, that's a good point. And then there's when Craig came in, we did a whole new sign, revisited the sign scheme in the ranch, and a whole bunch of new signs were put up. There are places you could, the kiosks, and then several other signposts that kind of where trails peel off from each other there.
Yeah.
So have they reached out to us about this at all?
They've reached out about the bikes on the trail, but we haven't. They haven't asked about signage or anything. But I do think moving forward with a plan for education campaign and increased signage, it's what makes the most sense to me. I don't know if folks have other thoughts on.
I agree with you. And I think, because we're facing there was one issue when it was just not electric bikes on trails. that's still really bad. We had a lot of complaints from horseback riders and pedestrians because it wasn't safe. Now, when you add an electric in, you're gonna have a wreck and it's not gonna be nice. So I think that we have to do something. And I think the only, like you say, if you're on a bike, even if you're running,
Yeah.
you don't stop and look. It's a glance.
Yeah.
So it has to be really clear.
Yeah.
And I think down at, level where you're riding that at Shady, at the top of Shady, but it's up here.
Yeah.
Nobody's looking up there. They're all looking down here.
Yeah.
So I agree. I think if you have like a log, something that slows you, and then you have right specifically there, no bikes.
Yeah.
And I know what we try not to do a lot of trails, but like you said, I think it's people from out of town. We're on all trails now.
Yeah.
So let's
Well,
be
I know,
smart about it.
I know a few of the people, so the message from the folks at the ranch is, I mean, there's some people who are just sort of fundamentally down and who are bikes, and that's a separate issue. But at least several of the people who were encountered were surprised that they weren't supposed to be there. And so like, I think that is an indication that's on us
Mhm.
to educate.
Well,
people.
as you say, our sign, the ones that they put up in the ranch, that Craig put in, they're very nice. So maybe it's time for,
Well, and they're just not everywhere, right? They're
at certain, as you say, at certain points,
the places where people
entries.
actually up Los Trancos rather than,
Well, and I've met bikers years ago who came in from Los
yeah.
and just,
And I mean, let's be clear, like, I think that the problematic direction is people come Los Trancos.
Yeah, down.
Someone's just sort of sweating it out to go up the hill. No, there, that's going to be less of a, I guess, what I actually mean to say. Mary, did you want to weigh in on this?
Yeah, have you thought about just doing a letter, like fire preparedness letter, the conservation letter, just a town posting from trails?
I think we should do that kind of thing.
It's certainly time for the e-bike issue to make it clear about the mechanized vehicle.
Yeah.
That's the motorized, I'm sorry, motorized vehicle.
Motorized, yeah.
Just putting that out there so that they know what the status quo is, because people are,
Yeah.
whether motorized vehicles go on the trail.
Yeah, we certainly can do that. But I think we have to do both. I don't think it's just folks in town who need to understand that. I think it's more likely folks are visiting or coming through.
Yeah, and we can maybe co-sponsor the workshop. And they have ways of getting the word out to their really good ways.
Yeah.
And that would help if the town could be involved with that too, then even that could be integrated into the booth. Picnic.
I will take the action to kind of move this forward. I wanted to just make sure that the direction, and there weren't other things. Brendan, did you want?
Yeah, but to
add?
deal with, like sooner than later, an accident on Shade Trail, can the town not send out? an
I think we
email?
can send out, I think on that,
Okay,
send
just say,
out-
been noted on Shady,
yes,
there's an electric
yes.
car twice it's
Yes.
been viewed.
I mean, I don't think that there are many golf town,
No,
like,
That's not, probably not out of
an
town.
easy.
Yeah.
I can do it. Or have a TV forum on behalf of the council.
Yeah.
Great photo. In a very friendly way, say.
I will, yes.
Use the scofflaw.
We-
The wall of shame.
We have, we have a photo. I need to make sure that, so,
If it's your teenage kid, you go talk to him.
well, I mean, it's just,
probably is.
yeah, I mean, that one, I think we can, yes, have a very, targeted, campaign.
The Smokey and the Bandit music was
Yeah,
blasted.
Yeah.
For me, Jeff.
Yeah,
Fred,
Teresa.
Joe will visit.
Yeah.
Just a super fast question. I just looked on the website for the Trails Committee.
Yeah.
And the only thing it says is something about when you're using the, make sure you follow the regulations. And there's actually no explanation. Might be an
Yeah.
to enhance a little bit something on the website that was easier to find than 4 clicks once you get to
yeah,
respecting the trails, understanding not all trails, all users at all times or
Yeah.
something like that.
And,
a-
and,
As an,
well, and also explaining why. Like, I think that people need to understand there's easements for bridle trails, and most of our trails are actually on private. And we need to respect the easement. Like, that's, if you don't respect the easement, you run the risk of
Losing it.
losing it.
Mhm.
And so that's the thing that I think people, and they're like, well, public, Windy Hill's public, I can go ride my bike in there. Why can't they? To help with that. This is also probably an opportunity to
I did a
reinforce the no flames too.
I did a long post on the forum. This was a couple of years, do just that. And I explained how the easements, type of easement, get, multi-use on certain trails because of the width and the line of sight issues. And it was very well received. I got a ton of questions back and of engagement. But if you don't do that periodically,
Yeah.
it doesn't stick with them.
Yep.
So whatever we do, it just needs to be on a timer to go off again once you bring or something to bring it back. in
So,
front of people.
Gary, maybe you could give that to Elizabeth Martelli, who does or the Portola Valley Roundup, that she sends out every month.
Sure. They would
'Cause
have to
it-
polish it up a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it's. And I'm sure, on behalf of the Trails Committee, it's great to
I
write.
wrote it late at night one day and it just. Shoot.
I'll help copy edit.
Need to run it through the AI filter.
I want to stand corrected. I found with another click to another place where there actually is. Maybe the suggestion is to
Not have it 5 clicks deep.
kind of up front.
Yeah.
That explanation is 2012, so
Okay, will you send that to me?
it's on the web. Oh, sure, it's.
Just
on
as a
the-
reminder to.
Yeah,
follow up
So
on it.
sorry, I was incorrect.
That's okay. The record will reflect that you have been corrected.
I was gonna get
Joe
you
will
later.
make
I
certain
was
of
gonna
it.
get you later.
Just to make sure that's a clear in the minutes that
I am.
he was wrong.
ELC.
All right. I think we can close the. Is there any? Did we get anybody logged on the?
No.
Okay.
there are-
No hands raised or anything? Okay. All right. So then the next item would be adjournment.
So moved.
Okay. Gary
Motion.
moved. Second.
Yes.
Ellie,
Ellie second. All right. We are adjourned.
Next meeting?
10:10. Oh, long meeting.
When's the next?
Next meeting is August 20th. We will still